Fatima was only 19 when she left her home in Dakar, Senegal, to chase a dream in Europe. She had always been ambitious, yearning for a life beyond the dusty roads of her childhood. When she got a scholarship to study nursing in France, her family was overjoyed. "This is your future," her mother told her. "Make us proud." Paris was nothing like she had imagined. The cold beat through her skin, and the people moved fast, never stopping to look at one another. But she adapted. She worked hard, balancing her studies with a part-time job at a cafe. It was there she met Mark. Mark was charming at first. A Frenchman in his late 20s, he was attentive, generous, and full of promises. He made Fatima feel special, like she belonged in this foreign land. Within a year, they were married. Fatima's parents hesitated when she told them, but she assured them Mark was a good man. It was over something small, too much salt in the food. Fatima had stood there, stunned, as Mark muttered an apology. "It won't happen again," he said, holding her close. She wanted to believe him, but it did happen again, and again. Then came the violence. Mark hit her with every giving opportunity. She gets scared whenever he is around. She stays up late to wait his arrival at night. She does the cleaning, dishes and laundries, and never gets any help from Mark. He abuses her calling names and how ugly she looks. Even when she gets sick, she still rises up in the morning to do the cooking, feeding and cleaning. She never had time for herself. After their first son, Mamadou, was born, the abuse got worse. Mark started drinking more, and his patience grew thinner. Fatima learned to walk on eggshells, trying not to provoke him. She stopped calling her family as often. When they asked, she lied. "I'm fine," she would say, forcing a smile. "Mark takes good care of us." By the time their second son, Omar, was born, Mark no longer needed an excuse to hit her. He would come home in a bad mood, and Amina knew what was coming. She learned to shield her children, to take the blows in silence, but she never stopped hoping that one day he would change. One night, after a particularly violent episode, Fatima sat on the cold bathroom floor, bruises blooming on her skin. She looked at herself, thinking about the nights. She cries herself to sleep with her pillow soaked with tears in the morning. The different times she thought of suicide, and if she continued taking these abuses, she will not survive this. She thought of running away soon. Her mind was made up that night. She waited until Mark left for work the next morning, then packed a small bag, grabbed her sons, and ran. She went to a shelter where other women like her had found refuge. With their help, she filed for a restraining order. The court battle was long, and Mark fought for custody of the children, but Fatima refused to back down. She had endured years of suffering, but she would not let her sons grow up in fear. In time, she found a new home, a new job, and a new beginning. The scars remained, but they no longer defined her. She was free. And for the first time in years, Fatima could finally breathe. She looked at her sons and was happy she was able to give them a sane and a better environment to live in as they grow.